Listen, my name is Behringer Hollywood Six Miles. If I were to ever be in the presence of Giga Allen, I don't care. I don't care if he's gone, isn't he? Yes, from an overdose.
Yes.
This dude, I would have beaten the brakes off of you. I would have broken your fucking jaw.
Hey, blast off, I can talk my ass off. Hey, smoke you what you seen and I'll tell you what I saw. Hollywood, what you think and I'll tell you what I thought. And we can talk about it all when we hear on Trash Talk. Hey.
What's going on, everybody? We're back with another episode of the Trash Talkers podcast.
We made it.
I almost said another segment.
I heard you.
Man, what's up, dude?
Oh, man. Another week is gone.
Yeah. Tuesday morning, we're back here again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. I'm getting ready for fantasy football.
Man, I'm getting ready for Hamzat Shemai versus Nate Diaz.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite times of the year, though, man. Football season's about to start. There's nothing like week one.
See, now, that's, being in the South, y'all, it's always hot here. So when, like, September or October, November, and it starts to cool down, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Time to put on a hoodie and watch football.
I love it.
Yeah.
Man.
I always love the gear that you get to wear in winter better, you know, because it's so hot that you really can't wear a lot of stuff. So
Literally,
you
I
just
walk
t-shirt.
when I walk in the house, I derobe.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm wife beater and boxers.
Yeah, and they're
That's it.
usually wet too.
You stick it.
Ugh.
I'm telling you, man.
In
Like
the winter, like there is nothing more comfortable than a hoodie, right?
yes,
Like that's just the greatest thing to wear.
yes. Would you do anything interesting this weekend?
No, I mean I've prepared. I actually cut a fantasy football podcast, one of my little 10-minute football podcasts. Got that ready to go. It's out right now on the Beyond Football channel. If you guys want to check that out. But other than that, no, I've just been preparing for the football season.
Okay. Not preparing to come hang out with the Trash Talkers?
Well, we do that.
I know, every day.
Regardless.
Every day.
Yeah.
What did I do? I went, this past weekend, what did I do this past weekend? Oh.
You went to your mom's, I know that.
Well, no, that was yesterday, so that was Monday. But no, this past weekend, me and a friend went to. I love sushi. Sushi's probably like my second, third favorite food. It was my first until I was introduced to something else. But yeah, we went to go get some sushi, and I know you're not a fan of sushi, but dude, when I tell you, and you know, I'm gonna salute the place. It's called Fudo's in Atlanta, Georgia, you know, and I posted on my story on Instagram. If you guys go follow me on Instagram, but dude, I'm telling you, the most savory. It was like
Rolls.
It was I don't even remember the name of the roll, because when I go like to certain places, I just tell them, I say, hey, you pick for me, you know. I don't want, because I know I'm gonna pick what I normally get, but I want you to pick. And she's like, okay, cool. So she came back, and I want to say, I mean, they have weird names, but I want to say it was kind of like a dynamite roll, but it was called the James Bond there, and it had you know, your rice, your seaweed, and all that, but then it had like it wasn't even salmon. It was like, I want to say, I want to say grouper, but I can't. I wasn't sure, because I was like, hey, all right, bring me another. The bill ended up being $116.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
But
that brings up the old debate, though. Is it salmon or salmon?
Salmon.
Where's the L go?
What do you call it?
Let's say salmon.
You don't say salmon.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it depends on really who I'm around. Like, if I catch myself, I'll say salmon, because everybody says salmon.
You're from the South.
From the South, people say salmon.
Man, I ain't.
Where'd the L go? Why do you not pronounce the L?
Do we need to call Mama Six? Let's see. You want to see what Mama Six says?
You already know, because you say
No,
you're going to say it the same way she does.
She might say it different. Hold on. Let's call Mama Six, see if she answers.
And if she says salmon,
All right.
ask her what happened to the L.
All right. So should I call Mama Six or my stepdad Six? Because he's a Yankee. My mom's not.
Well, you think the L is from up north?
I mean, let's see what Mama Six says. Again, this is a special to the Trash Talker podcast listeners. Let's see if Mama Six answers. She's probably busy driving. Come on, Mama. Don't do me like this. Come on, Mama.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Mama.
What's going on?
I got you on the podcast real quick. Just want to ask you a quick question.
Okay.
All right. There's a fish that a lot of people use sushi with. What's it called? Starts with an S. How do you say that word?
Sashimi?
No, just the regular fish. You got tuna, then you got starts with an S.
Swordfish?
Mama, you get too fancy. Just regular.
Swordfish.
Salmon.
Salmon. How do you say that?
Oh, salmon. The L is silent.
The S. See?
Why is the L silent?
It's just the English pronunciation of the word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you, Mama. Love you.
Love you, bye.
Bye.
That was actually an argument on I want to say it was either last year or the year before on Hard Knocks. You know, the football program where they take you in the training camp of a different team each season, and it might have been 2 seasons ago for the Raiders. But yeah, they were having that argument. Like, where's the L? Why don't we pronounce the L?
What's the other word? There's another word like that.
Oh, there's a ton.
Like you asked me, it's pecan. I know you're gonna say pecan. Your grandma would say pecan.
Yeah.
So why do you say pecan?
I don't know. I say weird things like I don't even know where it came from.
Come on, give me a word of the day. Just give me something. Watch how random. Just come on.
Man, see, now I want to dig in and come up with something good. You know, I threw out all the good ones like pontificate and things like that. I don't know.
I got you on the spot.
Yeah.
All right.
You know how that is.
I
like
know.
you'll have a million words running through your head, and then they're like, "Okay, spit it out," and you're like, car.
All right, that's the word of the day, car. And the A is silent.
Yeah.
All right, but no, we're back on this list.
Reiterate. That's a good one.
That's a good
yeah.
one. All right, so now reiterating on our topic here, we are on the top 3. The top 3 most insane people are in
music. Yeah.
Okay, dude, we have been through Wendy O. Williams.
Yeah.
We've been through Alex Cooper. We've been through Ozzy Osbourne. We've been through help me out here. We've been through Dead from
yeah.
Euronymous from Mayhem.
Did you say Alice Cooper?
I
You
did,
right? Yeah.
They had Mike Patton on here.
Yeah, Mike Patton.
I mean,
Which is one we weren't expecting.
not at all.
But I think Mayhem just everybody who knew about it and the people that didn't, it just blew their minds.
Yeah, I mean, it blew ours.
Yeah.
I mean, so much to the point where, you know, guys, the comments, we read all the comments, and you guys are saying, watch the documentary.
Yeah.
Me and Smokey are going to watch that documentary, and in the future, we are going to do a podcast on how crazy Mayhem is. Actually, oh, man, you know what? I need to make an announcement. Trash Talkers, you heard this first. We have just been voted the #1 podcast for people who drive a 1997 Toyota Corolla green with a dent in the right door.
Man, I got that notification too. I can't believe it, man. That was
we
crazy.
Are the #1 podcast.
I'm like, we did it, man. We have reached the pinnacle.
Yeah,
all them Nissan drivers are like, man, I can't help it. I get in the car and turn them on.
It's so 1997. So yes, we are officially the #1 podcast for people who drive a 1997 green.
Absolutely,
green,
man.
Yeah, with a dent in the right door.
And if you are driving one of those and you don't listen to us, well, you get your life right.
Yeah, so we're gonna work our way up. One day we're gonna be #1 podcast and something else. But right now, Nissan, we're #1.
Climbing the ladder of success.
Absolutely. All right, so now top 3.
Yeah, top 3. This is it.
This is the
culmination, the most insane artist of all time.
Yes, and like we had said before, you know, we really don't know who's on this list, but because we black it out, you know. But now it's like, dude, what is gonna be worse than freaking Euronymous taking a picture of Dead, eating some of his brain, taking pictures and using it as an album cover. And if y'all didn't watch last episode, if you don't have a weak stomach, Google Mayhem's picture.
Man, how is it not #1? Like, maybe there's just artists on here that are gonna top that. I don't know how. I don't know how you top that.
You gotta think this is top 3, Smokey. This is we went through this list, so this will be the last.
I mean, we can all probably place our bets on who's going to be #1. I think we've already figured it out.
Yeah, I don't think he will. You
don't think he's #1?
Okay,
he's got to be in the top 3. Like, there is no way this list was made without putting Giga Allen on it.
Okay, Damn, even Buddy from Guar was on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I'm going to see Guar soon.
Are you?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
going to go see Guar.
Don't look at him from the back. Just stay in front of the stage. You'll be good.
Okay, I got you.
I bet they're gonna turn around
just to do it.
You're gonna be like, ass.
Just to do it. I can't wait to come back because you've seen them. I can't wait to come back and say, sold out. I saw Guar, man.
You saw their booties.
Yeah. It's actually Guar and Necrogoblicon. I'm going to see.
Really?
Yes.
That seems like the perfect tour mates for them.
Perfect mix.
Yes.
Oh man, shall we dive into our top 3?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. See who's up.
All right, so let me go to number 3. Number 3, and y'all, if y'all haven't seen the previous episodes, it was 15. 15.
Yeah, it was 15, total.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the past how many
13.
episodes? Huh?
The 13.
So how many?
12 so far.
So how many?
This will be 13, 14, 15, which is number 1 through 3.
So what was that? 3 podcasts we've done on the top 15 most.
No, this will be number 5.
So 4 we've done previously.
Yes.
So if you haven't checked out the past 4 podcasts of the top 15 craziest people in music, go check it out. But my favorite by far was the Wendy O. Williams one.
Yeah.
That, I mean, when she pulled that.
The jackhammer.
The jackhammer, dude. That was
even though that wasn't even in the story.
No, we
at
just
all.
made that up. But it was.
She was playing with a sledgehammer and a microphone.
Just wham that thing. All right, so number 3. Again,
Yeah.
I want a word of the day. Reiterate. I want to reiterate. These are the top 3 most insane people in music. So number 3 is a guy named Gall.
Gall.
No.
All right, who is Gall?
You don't know? You never heard that?
No.
I've never heard that one either.
Is this more Swedish death metal or black metal?
Holy shit!
What
Hey,
you
this
got?
is the Trash Talk. This is the Trash Talkers podcast. We can curse here. Holy shit! This is okay. Let me read the synopsis here. Gall is the leader of Gorgorith, one of black metal's most heralded bands, right up there with Mayhem. So apparently they top Mayhem.
Wow.
So Gall and other Gorgorith members have been arrested for violent crimes, kidnapping, torture, and Gall actively vocalizes his support of church burnings.
Oh, wow.
Dude, satanic spectacle, animal heads skewered by stakes, and a woman's fashion line are all synonymous with Gall. He also came out of the closet back in 2009. He must have been heavily influenced by Lance Bass's coming out a few years prior. Lance Bass is coming out a few years prior. We'll all just have to stand by and see what this guy does next. I'm just going to repeat this for a second. He has been arrested for violent crimes, kidnapping, torture, and he actively vocalizes his support of burning your local church. And he has animal heads skewered by stakes. And apparently likes to wear women's clothing.
That tells you none of this happened in America, because all of those charges added up.
Oh,
you're going to be doing some time.
Yeah, probably life.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when you get to like number 5, 6 times that you committed those acts. Like, yeah, they're not letting you out after that. Like, there's felonies in that list.
I think all those are felonies. Violent crimes.
I mean, maybe they might let you slide with a little bit of time for the animal cruelty. And
you think?
I mean, you're gonna get time.
Man,
for sure.
I'm sorry, dude, but just me as a man, 3 of the don't mess with children, don't hit your woman, and leave animals alone. That's it.
Yeah.
Just I mean, don't hit your old lady. Don't hurt the dang. I mean, I don't know. To me, that's a sick thing. And I will speak vocally on that. People who mess with children, people who mess with animals, and people who hit women. I'm sorry. I understand if a woman's coming after you and she's beating the brakes off of you, which I have had happen to me before. I mean, I understand, just like holding her back to protect yourself.
Refraining, yeah.
Yeah, but you don't want to freaking Macho Man Randy Savage off the top row. You don't want to do that, dude.
No.
But this guy, Gall, from Gorgorith, have you ever heard of that band at all?
No.
No? I don't know.
I don't even, maybe someone put it in the comments, but I don't recall seeing it.
Neither do I.
Like, majority, 80% of our comments on these episodes have been about Mayhem.
Yes.
So, guys, tell us, why is Gall worse than Mayhem?
Yeah. And, so with Mayhem, they actually mentioned, alright, so Dead was number...
Maybe it's the amount of crimes.
Probably. So Dead was number 5.
Number 5 and number 4. Well,
No,
Dead was 5.
and then Euronymous was number 4.
Yes.
So for them to be separated from 5 and 4, maybe Gaul was just on a whole nother. Listen, y'all. I want to reiterate that we read these comments and we literally come to y'all for the information because we have no clue who Gaul is. So y'all, please educate us because the last podcast we did, y'all were so informative on Mayhem. A few trash talkers actually left a link to the documentary that we needed to watch. So it's coming, man.
Yep, we're gonna have to do a whole episode on that. Maybe we need to do a whole episode on all of these guys, like all of the top 5 or whatever it is.
Okay, wait. You said this is possibly not American, right? Or I would say it's
obviously. I mean, it's Swedish death metal or black metal. I always say death metal, but obviously it's black metal.
What's the difference?
Good question. Maybe it's the style is a little different. And maybe they just had to give it black metal because death metal wasn't quite strong enough.
But if you think about it, it's
you would think death metal would be worse than black metal.
Well, no. Think about these guys, Mayhem and Gorgorith. They should be labeled as death metal because they're actually
they were so fascinated with death and they actually committed murders and suicides and such. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's we were
in Sweden.
Okay, all right. So me and Smokey were talking off camera here for a minute, and we were talking about we looked up some prisons in other country and like Denmark and Sweden and Norway.
Oh yeah.
Like they're like resorts. You got pools, you get massages. Yeah. So it's like, what if these guys did all these heinous crimes just to go to a resort?
Well, I don't know the dynamic there. Maybe. There are some people but then their recidivism rate is so low there that it seems to work.
Huh? What'd you say? Recidivism? Is recidivism?
Is it recidivism or recidivism?
Recidivism. Trust me on this one.
Are you sure?
Trust me on this one. Okay. Recidivism.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know because it works. It like somehow their prisons work and ours don't. Like our rate is in the 80s and theirs is in like the 20s and lower.
What do you mean as far as recidivism, right?
Yeah, as far as people going back after getting out.
Why do you think that is? If America's prisons are so hard and people getting beat up and you got 24-hour lockdown and you eating muck versus these other places have like literally a hotel resort, why is it that you would think ours would be better because it's more hard to be in there, so it's going to rehabilitate you versus, hey, you did a terrible crime, why don't you go swimming in the 10-foot pool and we'll send a masseuse out there shortly.
It seems to work. There's something about the human psyche, man. It works.
Is it cultural? Is it you say the human psyche, is it not even cultural, is it?
But maybe they have a better program of reprogramming the criminal mind, whereas ours tends to be more of a finishing school for criminals. It's almost like if you're a criminal, you can go to prison. That's your college.
A better criminal.
Yeah. I mean, it works that way. So I don't know. I mean, that's a whole nother podcast. I think we've done a podcast on that before.
I think we have actually.
Yeah.
We yeah, but it's I don't know. I love this country. I love this country to death. But well, you know what they say. Once you become a prisoner, you are a slave to the state. Basically, you are a slave.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Who we got for number 2, Smoke? What you were in deep thought there. What was you thinking about?
It can't be worse than that. Like, really?
What do you mean?
As far as what these guys have done, like, how far can you push it past that? Well, like, is there a guy on here who murdered an entire village?
That's what I was asking last episode. We are at the top 3.
Yeah.
So what can be worse?
I don't know. I mean, there's literal murders in this. So
who we got for number 2?
I don't even know how to say this. Count Grishnak, I think it's Grishnackh.
I think you hit it spot on.
Grishnak.
Dude,
my dyslexia makes it really hard to say that.
I'd say Grishnak.
That's the whole thing with recidivism and reviticism.
Yeah,
it's the dyslexia that tells me to say it that way. All right, yet another Norwegian black metal figure.
What is it about Norway?
Dude.
Wait, before you
Norway,
go
Sweden,
go ahead.
these are beautiful places with supposed to be the nicest people on earth, right?
Very low crime rate.
Dude.
I mean, just read a little bit of that because I want to touch on this for a second.
Black metal is basically, to this list, what the Golden State Warriors are to the Western Conference All-Star team, making up 4 of our top 5. Wow. And really 5 of the top 6, that would be, right? Yeah. Okay, that is 4 of the top 5. Let's see. I can't even say half these names. Larson. His name is Christian Larson Vikernes. He changed his name to Varg Vikernes, then created his black metal alter ego Count Grishnak, due to love of Lord of the Rings.
Oh, wow.
Whether you dig Varg's politics and rap sheet or not, you can't really say he didn't walk the walk. Talk about gangsta stuff.
Exactly.
He spent 21 years in prison for murder of Euronymous.
No, for Mayhem?
Yeah.
Wow, he's Mayhem?
The one that murdered. Yes, okay. So, Dead was not even nearly the worst in that group.
It was Count
Grishnak.
Yeah. Does it say anything about
served his time and was released on 6-month probation and 8,000 euros. You can learn more about Count and all of these black metal fellows from the documentary Until the Light Takes Us.
Yes, and
since release, he's still going strong and shaking up the status quo. He's been accused of Nazism and openly spews his belief on various channels. Oh, like YouTube channels.
So he's still around?
It says various channels. It doesn't say YouTube, but yeah. Little does the Count know, nobody gets an out of Nazism alive. Not even Bowie. That's the second time they mentioned Bowie with Nazism. We're going to have to look into that.
See what it is with David Bowie and Nazism?
Yeah.
Trash talkers, let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
What is the deal with that?
All right, so, okay, let's speak on this for a second.
Yeah.
All right, so this guy, okay, dude.
Okay, so Dead
was number 5.
Was basically the worst thing he did was killing himself.
Yes.
And Euronymous.
He found Dead,
Yes.
took pictures, used it as the album cover,
Yes.
took bones and skin fragment and ate some of his brain.
Yes, and made the album cover, obviously.
Yeah. I just said
and then
that.
Count murdered Euronymous.
So if we're correct from the comments that we've seen, Euronymous was the guitarist, and Count, let's just call him Count.
Yeah.
Count, I want to say did he replace Dead maybe?
Yeah, well, that was the story. Not he replaced Dead. He replaced Euronymous.
And then, so he killed Euronymous.
Or actually, Euronymous replaced him, was it? It was one of the two. One of them replaced the other one, and then the old guy killed the new guy.
Dude, what is up, dude?
Dude, I don't know.
This
is a twisted web of
it makes
evilness.
Does it make us sick? Does it make us creepy or weird to want to watch the documentary? Like, does that make us weird?
Well, no, I think there's some definitely upstanding people who are fascinated with serial killers. I'm an upstanding person. Yeah. Upstanding citizen. Yes.
Yeah. So he's a good guy. But no,
I hope so.
A lot of people, literally, if y'all go look at last Trash Talkers podcast, a lot of people said y'all need to watch the documentary, and I can't wait to check it out.
The documentary, when we do this show, it's going to be about Mayhem. And maybe even the entire black metal scene.
You know what we should do? And it may not be next episode. It may not be the next episode after that. But before we do a Mayhem podcast, we should watch it like the night before.
Yeah.
Watch the documentary.
Yeah, it needs to be fresh for sure.
Yeah, like do some homework. You know what I mean?
Yes.
All right, but here's where I wanted to go. Okay, Norway.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful place. Shout out to all our Norwegians. Why is such a beautiful place? Such low crime rate, great judicial system, great economic system, very self-sustained, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Why does that produce this kind of... Why does that produce a mayhem? Why does that produce burning of churches? Why does that produce murders of your fellow bandmates? Why does that produce cannibalism from a place that's so perfect, one would say?
Yeah, like it's... Utopia. Yeah. I think it goes back to the nature of the youth and the rebellious nature of the youth, that they just want to rebel and do the opposite of the norm. Like that happens to most kids, right? Like the average kid grows up and says, you know, I want to change things. I want to do something different than what's going on here. That's just nature. And maybe when you build something that is so great, you're going to have something come along that is so evil that wants to tear it down. Like, you can't have good without the evil. Like, if everybody's good, there is no good.
That's what they say.
I guess you can't have the yin without the yang.
Exactly. There's no yin without the yang.
So if you build something that is so much better than what the rest of the world has, there's going to be something that's so much more evil than the rest of the world has.
I think you hit it on the head when you said, you know, it's just wanting over there, that's the norm, to be nice to your neighbor and not do these horrific things. And so it's like, you know what, we're going to rebel against that. We are going to do these things. But then okay, so if that's rebellious, is that also a mental illness?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's definitely a mental illness. Murder is usually the result of either spontaneous action or mental illness.
Or protection.
Oh, that's spontaneous actions. Yes. Yeah. Okay. I mean, there's either premeditated or not.
You know, I've always wondered, do you know the difference between first, second, and third degree murder? What's the difference? I know first is the worst.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to look up the exact definition, but, you know, premeditated is going to be in the first degree because you planned it out and you carried through.
You executed your plan.
Yeah, and like third degree is going to be like someone is attacking you and you had to fight them off and they happen to die. Like you weren't planning on killing them. It just was a result of the conflict.
I mean, I'm all about protecting yourself, your family, your loved ones. But yeah, no, you have to have something off in your brain to just want to go out and do these things, which is crazy because okay. Before we get to number one, to the trash talkers, they have said a lot of trash talkers said that Mayhem might have been number one, you know, as a whole. Yeah. So.
And maybe. Dude.
You just want me to hop into it?
Well, yeah, because we know what it's going to be, right?
It's got to. Hold on. All right. So
pull it up, because it's got to be.
All right. Number one on the most. This is the number one most insane person in music history.
Who is it?
Holy shit! Oh my God!
Who is it?
Giga Allen.
Of course, it's Giga Allen.
Wow.
Of course.
I mean, we kind of knew that, though, right?
Yes. I mean, I've been saying it the whole time. It's hard to believe that he was worse than the guys in Mayhem.
Mayhem, that's what I'm saying, because I don't think Gigi murdered anyone.
Or did he?
Damn it. I gotta
From what I understand, he claimed he wanted to.
Dude, okay, so before I even go down the synopsis that thecleaver.com has sent us is from the little I have seen of Giga Allen, this guy was the epitome, the personification of a piece of shit. I'm sorry.
I would have said egotistical evil, but yes.
I'm gonna say a piece of shit.
Narcissism.
Sounds like a piece of shit to me.
No apathy to be seen whatsoever.
Sounds more like a piece of shit.
No sympathy to be seen.
Even more like a piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, That's what most people, I think, would describe him as.
And I know there are some Giga Allen fans out there. We've never heard his music. Maybe he's a great musician. We can, if we heard his music, I would judge him on music.
Yeah.
But in his personal life, hate me. But from what I have seen, this guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah, from the documentaries that we've seen and his appearances on talk shows.
Oh my God, dude.
Some behind the scenes videos that got out somehow.
All right, let me read this because I do want to talk about this guy.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, so this is quite a bit. So Giga Allen is the Michael Jordan of deranged rock stars. He'd have to be in order to beat out all this stiff Norwegian competition. Those guys are basically the Iceland team in D2, the Mighty Ducks. Gigi lived an outlaw life, often having to ditch out on his shows right away in order to duck the law. Wow. He spent time in and out of prison for domestic abuse and lewd conduct. He defecate on stage and once shoved a banana up his butt at New York University. Lord have mercy. Gigi was without a doubt a legend. Even Kurt Cobain was too chicken to go to a Giga Allen show. Where many avidly waited for Gigi to commit suicide on stage, as Gigi often told fans he would. In true Giga Allen fashion, he gave his followers not what they wanted, but what they deserved. His last day on Earth culminated in a heroin overdose surrounded by close friends. He hated everyone equally, which is really refreshing in this day and age. Instead of buying into a system of beliefs created by someone else or some institution, he pretty much made up his own. There will never be anyone like Gigi. He's earned his spot as the most deranged frontman and musician of all time. For those about to rock, make sure you give Giga Allen a special salute, will you? Well, yeah. So, okay, well, this has been fun, right? Bear in mind that this is not necessarily a comprehensive list. It's merely a collection of musical oddities worth looking into. You might even have a local act that would give any of the people mentioned on this list a run for their money, except Giga Allen. So, all right.
I don't care how local you are. If you're doing anything on that level, you are going to garner attention.
Okay, but before we talk, I don't think Gigi murdered anyone.
Not that is on the record.
So how is he number one and Mayhem was not?
Although he said several times he would murder anyone.
All right, so just talking off the few clips that I've seen. So I want to say
his band was called the Murder Junkies.
Murder Junkies, yeah, and his brother was in it. He had so I saw a clip of Giga Allen. Literally two clips I want to talk about. He was in he was at a show and there were some young girls. They looked very young to me. I would say, teenage. And brought them, he had them in their hotel room, and I guess they're like, hey, we're going to do some drugs, we're going to hang out, and they didn't want to do that once they got there. So he grabs this poor girl by her hair, and just tosses her. You better get this out of here before I kill her. And the men are just sitting there like, oh, this is normal, and like she's trying to fight her way back, but I can't watch stuff like that because, and before I continue, there's also another clip where he's at a show. He's already cut himself. He's completely naked. He's already defecated on stage. And this woman's like in the back, you're a disgrace to human society. And he said, come say that to my face. So she walks up there. He grabs her by her hair and throws her down. Listen, my name is Behringer Hollywood 6 Bonds. If I were to ever be in the presence of Giga Allen, I don't care. I don't care if he's gone, isn't he? Yes, from an overdose.
Yes.
Dude, I would have beaten the brakes off of you. I would have broken your fucking jaw. Don't put, like I said, children, women, and animals. And the fact that you see some of his followers are okay with him doing that, that makes me even more upset. And I'm sorry, dude, but I can't condone that. I can't condone that in any way, shape, or form. And the fact that, I can't get this image out of my head that he took this lady in front of a crowd and just slung her down. Took what looked like a teenage-year-old girl, just slung her down, and no one beat his ass. Fuck him
because they were afraid of him.
Man, have you seen?
That's what he lived off of. I think he lived off of people being afraid of him.
Damn it, I'm smoking a cigarette. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's why he put out that image. I think deep down inside of Giga Allen somewhere, there was a scared kid that grew up with his father beating him, probably got picked on in school. You know, his father proclaimed that he was going to be Jesus Christ or something like that.
His dad?
Yeah. Yeah.
He actually said that. Gigi said that. And that
exactly. I think deep down inside, there was a scared little kid who needed to put on this front to scare people into thinking he was just the toughest dude, the worst creature to ever live. Now, there's something to be said for him living that lifestyle, because he did. But you can see it in the videos. Occasionally, it seemed that he would run into someone who wasn't afraid of him at those shows, that was willing to stand and go toe-to-toe, and he would back down. Like, I've seen the clips of, you know, occasionally there's this one dude who's standing there like, not me, bro. Not me. And
that would be me.
Gigi will just work his way to the next person that is scared of him. But I don't think he was afraid to take a beat down either.
Well,
he wasn't afraid to get his ass whooped.
That's the thing. He said... Like,
but then again, maybe he was. Maybe it was. Maybe that's why he didn't stand there and go toe-to-toe with anybody. You know, he would hit someone. If they hit back, you know, he'd just go back into singing and then go on to the next person.
What do you think his music sounds like? Do you think it's any good? And is it about the stuff he was talking about?
From the videos, I've never actually heard like a studio recording. But from the videos, it's so hard to tell because it's really lo-fi. You know, it's in these tiny little clubs with bad sound systems. And really, you can't make out much of his vocals whatsoever because it's just horrible audio. And it's just, you know, and you can't hear really anything that he's saying. So I don't know. I still want to explore one of his songs or a few of them just to see what captivated people, if there was something in the music that captivated people other than just the live shows. Yeah, the antics, yeah.
So that's what my question is do you think his music embodied what he was preaching? Like, I
would think so. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to live that lifestyle and you want people to hold you in such high regard and be scared of you and you want to put the fear into them, you're definitely going to portray that through lyrics, right?
Yeah. Damn it, man. I want to beat his ass now, to be honest with you. I'm sorry. Like, that just irks me, dude. And, y'all, I don't smoke on camera. And if I do, it's very rarely. But for Giga Allen to be such a piece of shit, I'm sorry. It's like, why? I'm sure. Oh, well, you know what? He in the talk show he was on, he's like, I fight with my fans, and sometimes they'll fight me.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like,
yeah, and he said sometimes he gets beat up.
Maybe just, I don't know, dude.
Like I said, he wasn't afraid to do it, knowing that every now and then there's going to be a tough individual there that's going to beat him up. Like, he wasn't afraid to go into the battle. But then again, he wasn't just proclaiming, I'm masculine and dominant, and I'm going to go toe-to-toe with this guy.
He put a banana up his ass.
I don't know how that proclaims how tough he is, but I don't know. Maybe it does take a little bit of toughness if you're going to endure that. Try pineapple next time.
Oh, Lord. Y'all haven't seen Little Nicky.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. It's
strange individual. Yeah.
You see how we say the same word at the same time? It's strange to me that, and I get, you asked about the following. I guess the following would have to be just as deranged as he was.
Well, yeah, there's a certain aspect. I'm sure a few people filtered in that had no idea what was going on. This was before the age of the internet. They weren't searching videos on him, Some people may have just found a CD. Whether they bought it or it was just passed around and they're like, hey, he's playing tonight, you want to go check him out? I'm sure there was a few individuals that filtered in that way.
Yeah, because in a way it kind of sounds like a bluegrass. If you hear the name, Giga Allen's performing.
Yeah, I think he was a big country music fan, yeah.
Was he?
Yeah. And from what I understand, he did some country music also.
See, it's like, okay, take the Murder Dolls off of it, or the Murder Junkies. Let's take
his brother's name was Merle.
Merle.
That just screams country music to me.
like
Merle Haggard.
I was just about to say Merle Haggard. Yeah,
exactly.
Huh. I don't know, dude. It's one thing to put on a show. Mm-hmm. It's another thing to physically assault people. And I think I read somewhere that he did over like he's been in jail and prison over like 60 times. Like, and you know what, man? God, I ain't even gonna say that. But he said that he wanted to off himself on stage.
Yeah.
How about it?
Well, he never got to that point.
Well,
and that's also too, like, was he enjoying the fame? He was like, you know, I believe he had all intentions of doing it someday. He just couldn't decide when. What's
crazy is in the synopsis that I read, they said that he died of a heroin overdose while people sat around and watched. I mean, I don't know. Again, I do find it a little weird that he was number one.
I bet even his bandmates at some point in time, like if he's on his, you know, he's on the deathbed right there, and they're like, it's maybe a good thing to just let him go. You know, that could be something they were thinking. Like I'm sure some members of the band sometimes are like, we're going too far with this.
And then, like, what is his, like, I'd like to know, like, what is his brother doing these days? Like, he's probably working at O'Reilly's or something, or AutoZone, you know? And
yeah, good question. Like, what is he doing? Or is he still making music, man?
He might still be.
He might be a great artist.
He might be like a bassist of one of the bands we cover here, you know?
Yeah, he might be doing, you know, studio work for someone, you know, a sessions artist or something.
But can you understand when I say for him to be number one when off the record or that he never murdered anyone? You get what I'm saying? Well, like, how was he number one?
How was he above Mayhem?
Yeah, like I can understand maybe top 3 or number 3 or number 2, but Count, like, come on, dude. Euronymous?
Yeah, these people actually murdered
people. They actually did it. I mean, oh man, dude, this is a deep one here, dude.
It is, man.
Oh. Yeah,
crazy individual.
Yeah, you know what? We didn't even
read the comments. Yeah.
So yeah, before we get into, are we calling it?
I think we're gonna still stick with WTF, but since I ran out of Georgia stories, we're just gonna go to different states. Yeah. And I'm gonna try to get you to guess if it came from Florida or a different state.
Okay. And again, WTF does not stand for what the fuck. It stands for
what the Florida.
Yes, it does. But real quick, let's read the top comments from last podcast. And let's see here as soon as I can get my phone. All right. So last podcast. Let's see. All right. We've got one from hold on. All right, so we've got one from Shan5. Just saw a story last week about a guy in my state. Oh, this kind of ties into WTF.
Yeah.
All right, just saw a story last week about a guy in my state, Pennsylvania, who had a bunch of body parts in his basement, which he bought over Facebook for some chick in Arkansas. She stole the body parts from a mortuary associated with the University of Arkansas. There you go. That's how you get body parts, apparently. Thanks for that, Shan.
Was the person who sold them arrested? I mean, well, I've got to be right if she stole them.
Yeah.
Like, there are legal means of obtaining actual human remains.
Yeah, legally. I'm sure there's a protocol that you have to go through.
Yes, exactly.
So the next top comment that we have on our last podcast is from Rebecca Fraser. Rebecca says there is absolutely a picture. She's talking about the picture from
from the album cover
of Mayhem about the actual
the suicide
death.
photo.
Yeah, suicide. Yeah. So Rebecca says there is absolutely a picture. Don't look for it. I told you not to look for it. And then she says,
she did.
Yeah, she told us. Sorry, my daughter is full force into black metal. I know Mayhem backwards and forwards. My kid's biggest thrill in life was she managed to get Varg Vikernes to block her on Twitter in less than 3 hours. That's great. Shout out Rebecca for that one.
Wow.
Yeah, and so she actually Rebecca has another top comment, but I can't read both of those. Okay, so the next one is from Punk J. Punk J says, as others have mentioned, until the light takes us is a good documentary about the early Norwegian black metal scene with a lot about mayhem. There is another great one called Helvete, Historian on Norse Black Metal, but I'm not sure if you can find it with English subtitles. So yes, shout out to the top commenters on our last podcast.
That's the one we're gonna have to watch though, Until the Light Takes Us.
Until the Light Takes Us. But do you want the light to take you, or do you want the dark to take you?
Yeah, that's debatable for some of these characters.
Smoda.
What up?
What the Florida?
What the Florida? All right. So what I'm gonna do is give you 2 headlines, and you're gonna tell me if it came from Florida or another state. And this week, the other state happens to be Louisiana.
Okay, so Florida and Louisiana?
Yes, so you're going to tell me if the headline came from Florida or Louisiana.
Okay.
All right. Cop faces jail for eating evidence documents in court during criminal case to protect informant.
What? There
was a cop who was in court, and during this trial, he ate the evidence in court. Like, just ate it.
In front of the jury
to
and everything.
protect the informant.
Okay, in a way, I gotta say salute to that cop. Depending on the crime. Salute to that cop. But I feel like that cop, the person that was on trial, was probably a friend or a family member. Depending on the crime, salute to you, brother. But go ahead.
Yeah, it depends on what happened. Circumstances, man.
Yes.
The other one is a human umbilical cords found in luggage at airport.
One question. Why?
That's the question.
Why?
Oh, why? I'm sure a lot of people have asked why. Which headline came from which state?
All right. All right, the umbilical cord has to be from Florida.
You think?
I'm going to say the umbilical cord is from Florida because that... Let me think for a second. The umbilical... Smuggles in an umbilical cord through the airport. And, dude, I guarantee those words never came out of anyone's mouth watching this right now. No one. And a cop eats evidence to help out. All right, so yeah, I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to say the umbilical cord is the umbilical cord smuggling. Hey, what do you do for a living? I smuggle umbilical cords.
It's a good living to be made there.
I'm gonna say that's Florida, and then I'm gonna say the cop eating the evidence. I'm gonna say that's Louisiana.
It is actually the opposite.
Wow.
Yes. Florida cop faces jail for eating evidence documents in court during criminal case to protect the informant. Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers executive, I'm going to leave his name out, was ordered Friday to hand anonymous tips about a drug suspect over to the court. Instead, he gobbled it down.
Oh no! What was the drug? Does it say?
It doesn't say in this article.
Okay.
And now he faces 2 weeks in jail for being in contempt of court. Maston told NBC Miami he snacked on the paper. No, that's not the original guy.
Wait, keep going. He snacked on the paper and what now?
He stacked on the paper instead of handing it over because doing so would reveal the name of the source. Crime Stoppers organizations around the country are able to collect tips due to promised anonymity.
Wow.
So they had these tips, these anonymous tips, that was going to incriminate, and he ate them.
What do you think his reasoning behind that was? It has to be like a family member,
friends, right? Maybe, yeah, family, friends, or he just felt for the person.
Look, Smokey, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna knock on wood as I say this.
Or it was an informant that he was afraid something was going to happen.
Like a mob member.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, go ahead, tell brother. I know where all your people stay at. Go ahead, go ahead.
It could have been something where, in this information, the person could have been found out.
That is probably what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say this, depending on if I know it won't happen, I'm gonna knock on wood here again. But if you were to go to court, and I hope you would do the same thing for me, depending on the crime, and I have a piece of paper, I'm swallowing. I'll take
for
that
2 weeks. For 2 weeks,
I'll take it.
Yeah, that might be worth it.
I'll take that 2 weeks to keep you out, brother.
2 weeks, yeah.
Man, tell me about the umbilical one though.
Human umbilical cords were recently found in passenger luggage traveling through New Orleans International Airport, with customs and border officials calling the unusual discovery noteworthy. A passenger arrived on Spirit flight from Honduras.
Oh, it's Spirit,
on August
so
2nd,
of course.
at Louis Armstrong New Orleans International Airport, according to U.S. Customs. The person was referred for a secondary inspection, in which the agency, who worked with specialized X-ray machines to detect organic materials in international airports, made the discovery. While inspecting their baggage, CBP agricultural specialists discovered a human umbilical cord.
All right, so this is going to sound a little weird here.
When questioned, the passenger claimed it belonged to a relative.
Okay. So, this is going to sound a little weird here.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, and I still think people do this to this day, when they have a baby, they eat the placebo. The placenta.
Yes, that does happen.
They say it's it's the best vitamin you can possibly get. It has everything. Mm-hmm. So maybe, hey, the placenta was so good, the next best thing is an umbilical cord.
Maybe that's a feasible story there.
That's the only logical thing I could think of, right? I mean, think of what else you got?
Maybe it was intended to be eaten. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, think about it, dude. There are places in this world where there are a lot of things. Like, one of my favorite MMA fighters, Alistair Overeem, right? Mm-hmm. He ate horse meat.
Yeah,
he ate horse meat. Now,
that's customary in certain.
Exactly. So maybe where they were going, maybe it was a custom for them to eat.
Yeah.
God,
that's possible.
It's still cannibalism,
though. Weird. I mean, it's a little too nasty for me. I wouldn't do the placenta. I wouldn't do any of it.
Let's say you were very sick, and they say all you gotta do is eat this placenta. You'll be healed.
Oh well, yeah. And if there's a willing donor, that's a possibility. Yes. Yeah.
Y'all heard it here first.
If it's a cure, yes.
Y'all heard it here first, man. If Smokey's got the measles or the monkeypox,
mail me your placenta.
Oh no, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Hey, willing donors. I mean, come on.
I mean, that's cannibalism? That's cannibalism, though. Come on, you're eating a human body part. That's cannibalism.
At a very, very strict definition, yeah,
Smokey,
I guess you could say that.
What are we talking about right now? This is where we have come to eating placentas and umbilical cords.
I don't know. Maybe it was for a different use. I mean, maybe they were going to make necklaces out of it.
Yeah, but it shrivels up.
There was more than one. Obviously.
Oh, there was numerous.
Yeah.
Wow. Huh.
It said umbilical cords.
Yeah, plural. Wow. I don't know. That's the only thing that I can possibly think of is to, like, they say breast milk. A lot of
people buy that on the internet.
People buy breast milk.
If you have breast milk, you can make money.
Is that not cannibalism?
Get some coin off of that stuff.
Is that not cannibalism? It's coming from it's a human fluid.
Not necessarily.
Because then I could say something
I know exactly where you're going. And there's a lot of things that you're going to say that could be cannibalism.
I mean, technically, though.
But, okay, so if you're some, what's the term for someone, carpophagia?
Man, come on, bro. Speak English, dog.
Someone who is addicted to eating things that are not food.
Oh,
corpophagia.
Is that what it's called? Corpophagia?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Like couch cushions?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So what if you were addicted to eating toenails or fingernails?
It's a human body part.
Is that cannibalism?
It's a human body part by definition. No, by definition that is cannibalism.
Maybe. Yeah, like I said, for a very strict definition, maybe.
Well, so let's say, all right, hey, I've collected my toenails for the past 6 months, and here's a box of them. All right.
Somebody will pay for that.
That's what I'm saying. But if it's cannibalism, you have to be, okay, wait, are we sure these are human toenails? Okay, so then they start eating them. Mm-hmm. Isn't that cannibalism? Because it came from a human. You're the same species.
Like I said, if you were to hold the definition strictly to it, yes, maybe it is.
And you know where I was going.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going.
Do we go there?
No.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people who commit cannibalism if you're going to use that definition.
All right, man. Oh, dude. This is why we like doing the Trash Talkers podcast. Because me and what you laughing at?
Nothing.
We can just sit here and be ourselves, and you know, and we salute you guys and thank y'all so much for all the positive reception that you guys have given us. We read all the comments. We're very active in the comment section. So thank y'all for the love and the support, and we ain't going nowhere. We're going to continue to do this, dude.
Exactly.
You got anything else for this week, man?
I think that's it for this week.
Yeah, so again, y'all, we were voted #1 podcast for people who drive 97 Nissan, was it Altimas?
Was it Corolla? Altima.
I think Nissan Altima. So yeah, again, we were voted #1 podcast for people who drive a 97 Nissan Altima green with a dent in the left door. Mm-hmm. We are going to work our way up, but...
Pretty soon we'll have all of the Corollas and Maximas and all of them.
Yes, 100%. Guys,
as long as they have dents, though.
It has to, in the left, though.
Yes,
in the left one. Guys, thank you so much for checking out this episode of the Trash Talkers podcast. And with that being said, my name's Behringer Hollywood 6. Bye.
I am Larry Smoke It Ramirez Cowan.
And we are
over
and
out.
Deuces.